Hi, welcome back. On this episode, we're going to cut a dog door into a regular household door. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification button, and check me out on Instagram and Facebook at Clark Garage. Let's get started. Alright, so I've already kind of got started here. I've marked out the hole that we're going to cut. So it's a extreme weather pet door that we're putting in. This is the template that it came with. We're doing the large one. I got a large breed dog. It has a line for the shoulder height on all three of the heights. So you want to measure the shoulder height of your dog, and then that's kind of how you decide what the height of the door is. If you're cutting this into a wall, you're supposed to cut it a little bit narrower. It has a note right here, and it's reduce the cutout height by 1 inch and the width by 1 inch. So I had that marked off, but since we're cutting in a regular door, we go regular, the full size for the large. And I just started with the bottom height, and then I made a mark, I put my tape across, and I did the same thing with the top height, made sure it was all square, and then I marked my edges on the four corners, and then ran the tape down. The tape just makes a nice easy line to follow. And then once you get it marked out, drill out all four corners, and then you can use a bigger drill bit and use a jigsaw, but I don't have a jigsaw here with me, so I'm going to carefully use my angle grinder. It's going to be a little bit messier and a little bit noisier, but I got some hearing protection and everything, so that'll be okay. And this is the dog door that we went with. Just picked it up at Canadian Tire. We've had this style before, and it's worked well for us. The construction of it, it has on the one side a nice thick rubber with a magnet on it, so it helps seal. And then it has a insulated foamy layer. And then the other panel has another rubber magnetic sealed layer. So it's 3 layers for keeping the weather out. So that works for the heat and the cooling. And then it also comes with a block off, so you can keep your animals from getting out, or other animals from getting in if you're going to be out of town or at night or whatever. And then it also has inserts that you trim up to the appropriate size, and then those will slip in to ensure that there's no sharp edges or anything for your dog to get caught on. Or if you're doing it for a cat, your cat as well. I have trained cats to use dog doors before, and it works really well. And then it comes with some installation hardware as well. So our next step, we're going to, since we got it marked out, you can kind of put anywhere you want on the door. I decided to go center to try to keep it looking aesthetically balanced. And then it's easier if you take the door off the frame. But to get my pins out, there's some wood trim over here, so I'd have to remove that, which would be a pain, or I'd have to unscrew the hinges off of the door frame itself. And so I'm just going to do it where it stands, and it should be okay. Alright, I'm going to try to peel this layer off. If I had a longer bit, like a jigsaw, I would have cut through the whole thing. I should be able to mark off my 4 corners on the other side and cut from that side too. But I'm going to see if I can get in from this side and get this out of here. Alright, so we got this cut on this side. So now we're going to go on the other side. We're going to mark out our 4 corners there. We have our holes drilled. So we'll run our tape across at that height, and then we'll cut. But when we start cutting, we'll cut just a little bit, and then we'll check on this side to make sure where we want to be. And like I said before, if you had a jigsaw that had a long enough blade to go through that whole thickness, you would drill a big enough hole for that for the blade to fit through in the 4 corners, and then you would just run corner to corner and you'd be all done. You wouldn't have to do this middle step. But all I have with me right now is an angle grinder, so this is how we're going to do it. But the other way would be a little cleaner, a little faster. So I'm not sure if you can see it or not on the camera, but we got a hole here, 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 and here. So we're just going to run our tape from the 4 corners, and it'll give us a nice easy line to follow. Alright, so now that's marked out. In theory, if we drilled our holes square all the way through, these 4 corners should be right where they're supposed to be. Just kind of like that. So now we're going to start cutting this side, and we're going to do a little cut. I'm probably going to stay a little bit further away from the line just in case it is off, and then we'll make sure that we're cutting in the right spot, and then we'll cut the rest of the way through. There's not really any going back once you start this, so you want to make sure that everything's lined up good and it's going to look good when you're done. Alright, I'm going to go on the other side of the door and we'll start cutting. Alright, that's looking pretty good. We might need to do a little bit of trimming, maybe on the one side, but we'll see if our hardware fits in, and we'll go from there. Alright, so we're going to start getting everything together. We're going to set these here so we have the right distance for thickness. So on the back of here, these will slide in just like so, and then it'll be the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna have to trim this a little bit, but there's little trim lines to follow. It's a fairly thin plastic. I meant to grab my tin snips from the garage. I have straight cut ones that would have worked perfect on here, but they're at the garage, so I'm gonna maybe try just some kitchen scissors and see if those work. They might work on this. It's pretty thin plastic, and we'll go from there. So the way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to hold this from the other side. I'm just going to reach through and kind of hold it, and I'll measure out this side here, just like so, and then we'll see how thick we actually need to go. And I'm just going to use a piece of tape to mark this, because we have those straight lines, so it'll be easy to follow a line, so I don't got to mark it the whole way, so I don't need a paint pen or anything like that. We want to make sure that that's tight. And then I'm going to mark the edge of the door. I'm going to mark it on both sides, but marking on one side should be good. But I just want to make sure everything is the same. Perfect, so there's our line. It's the same all the way across. And now I'm going to take the other one that doesn't have the tape on it, and I'm going to mark and see how far in this goes for sitting flush. I'm just going to put it in like so, so it's sitting there. And then I'm going to put tape on and mark the line on this side, and then I'll know how many lines I got to give it. Alright, so this was the piece. This is the edge of the door right here. and then shoving this in, this is how far in it goes. If you have it like that, you can kind of see. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 high spots. So that'd be our cut groove right there. Or that's the how far it went into the door. And then this is the distance that it was from the other side to the flush with the door. So we know we got to give it 4 more grooves. So if I line these 2 lines up here, this is how much more we need. So I can line that up, and I know I got to cut right on this groove here, which is 1, 2, 3 grooves in. So we're going to cut 3 grooves off of all of these, and then they should all slip together nice. Alright, so I got my scissors, and now we're going to cut all of these. And I'm just going to follow that line so it should be a nice straight line. So it's going to be something like that. There's just enough protruding here to slip into the other side, and it will be perfect. Alright, now we're going to slip all our pieces into one of the sides. So they just slip all the way in. So then we should have something like that. And we're going to pull our tape off now. So now we're going to slip this in. And there should be a little bit of wiggle room in here. So like the hole when you lay out the paper should clear all these mounting holes. So looking at this, I should be just slightly larger, but I have a small drill bit the right size there, and I'm just going to drill my holes through, but I want to get this kind of somewhere where I have a little bit of adjustment, because if I drill this top hole first, I can get everything all lined up, and then I'll be able to adjust the level of it so everything's nice and square. So I want to make sure that I have a little bit of wiggle room. Looking through the hole, you can see where you can see through, so I'm going to go up just a hair. I'm going to make a little hole here. Making sure I'm not too high for the bottom. Right there, feels like it should work. And then I'm going to grab my hardware. I'll put that through. And I'll stick this through. And that's looking pretty close there. So now we're going to go on the other side and we'll get the other half kind of started. Hopefully everything lines up okay. And then we'll be able to continue on. And now we're going to carefully slip this on and we're going to line the grooves up with it. And I'm doing mine so the nuts are on the outside of the door. So in theory, you wouldn't be able to unscrew it from outside. You'd have to be inside to be able to unscrew it. It's not looking too bad there. I'm gonna slip that nut in. I'm gonna grab my Phillips screwdriver and get that nut started. Alright, so we got that started now. Alright, so we got it top, bottom, and the bottom's not through anything, so it's loose, and this hole here wasn't going to go through anything, so I have that in there too. So now we can adjust it to get it level. So that looks level right there. I'm going to tighten that up just a little bit, but these are plastic, so you don't want to go too tight and break them. And now before we go any further, I'm going to check the other side. And that looks good as well. One thing you could do too, if you're putting it on a non-flat surface like how the door is, you can do a thin bead of caulking all the way around to fill in those gaps, or even if you had some thin weatherproofing styrofoam stuff to go around would work. Because you do have these little gaps here, and in theory you'll probably get a small amount of draft coming through there. So that would be points where you might get some draft coming in, and on the sides right here too. But this is going into a porch area, so it's not as cold as it would normally get, or as hot as it would normally get outside, so I'm not overly concerned about that. And if I do notice I have an issue, I would just have to loosen it off and address it. So I'm not going to do anything about that this time, and I also don't have any caulking or anything with me to do anything about it if I wanted to. So we're going to get the rest of our hardware in. Alright, and the last thing to do is try out the door. Come on, Mo. Good boy, good boy. So, no problem, right in. And then getting them used to it, it's good to use a treat. And it's super easy. Come on, Mo. So the door works great. That helps keep all the warm air in the winter time and all the cool air in the summertime. That just goes to our mud room. So if you just take your time, these are pretty easy to install. They're not too bad. And this is a English slab, and he's about 95 pounds, and it's the large door. It works out good. The floor is a different height on the other side, so I kind of split the difference for the height to the shoulders, but it's works perfect. Don't forget to subscribe, click the notification button, and check me out on Instagram and Facebook, Clara Garage. Have a great night.